Dad's sitting right over there. Well, I thought I'd clarify a little bit about how Ryan. Closer?
Yeah, there you go.
Eat the mic. Is that better?
Eat it.
Okay. I thought I'd clarify a little bit about how Ryan did meet Erin.
As far as you know.
But even more importantly, how I met Ryan.
Oops.
So, her dad was off with the Air Force, and shoot, that was a good thing, huh, Ryan? And I'm a social worker, and I was working in the emergency room at Bronson in Kalamazoo. And so Erin was home alone. So she had a friend come over. The friend was not Ryan. The friend was Tina. Yeah.
That's mine.
But there was nothing going on that night in the emergency room, and I stayed until about midnight, and nothing was coming in, and so I packed up and left my phone number. If something comes in, let me know. And I went home. And I walked in the door, and at the top of the steps stood this boy.
Almost a man.
There's that confidence. There's that confidence.
Either. She had her friend Tina over, and I walked in the front door, and there stands this kid at the top of the steps, and I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Ryan Lamb." And I said, "What are you doing on my steps?"
You should mention it was 2 a.m. at the time.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Was it 2? Okay, I forgot what time I left the hospital. that detail just right.
Jelly and jam kind of night.
So I said, well, why don't you leave? Well, his friend was down in the family room.
Chad Penn.
Chad.
Not no.
Chad.
Not you.
No. Couldn't have been you. No. So I invited him to leave, and he did. He ran out of there like the devil himself. He ran through.
You accepted your offer.
I did. You did. So,
Offer accepted. Very slowly.
Really sauntered. It was more of a saunter.
so I said to my daughter, "Who was that?" "Well, that was Ryan Lamb. His father's a judge." I said, "Well, then he ought to know better than to be here when you're 14 years old." So off he went with Chad. He's not this Chad, another Chad.
He's in Hawaii.
Oh, he comes in Hawaii. So, I was really angry, wasn't I? I was very
Not
angry.
happy with you.
No, you weren't. I wasn't happy, and I wasn't happy with Tina either. But so time went by, and about 6 months later, she said, Mom, do you remember Ryan Lamb? I said, yeah, the one I threw out. And she said, yeah, well, she had been hanging around with Kristen, who we're honoring tonight. And we miss terribly. Yeah. And she said, I'd like to see him again. And I said, really?
You're the man, Lambo!
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
But it's a wild crowd. So I said, well, it was kind of silly to say no, you can't see him, because I knew she'd work it out because she's hanging around with Kristen and the girl down the street who was friends with Kristen, and so I was kind of stuck. I said, well, okay. So one night she had been over at the Lamb's house, like almost full time. We hardly ever saw her. This is in the summer. And so I called up his mother on a Friday afternoon, and I said, our daughter is spending a lot of time over at your house, and we'd just like to meet you. We didn't even know who these people were, and she was there all the time, and so being responsible parents, we decided it'd be a good idea to find out where she was. So went over there, and we had a lovely conversation with Dick and Linda.
Here's her lunch money.
And, right. So in the course, right? If you're gonna adopt her, at least we'll give you money for lunch. So we had a nice visit with them, and through the course of the conversation, the kids were all out on the boat. Yeah, I do. His dad said, so why doesn't Erin drive? No, not because she's blonde. And we said, well, she's 15. And I thought Mr. Lamb would have a heart attack. Judge Lamb put on his judge jacket, and he grabs a hold of the slider, and he yells out the door, Ryan! They were out skiing, Ryan, of course, did not hear his father yet. But, so they came in, and they wondered when Erin would be able to drive, and this was July, and I said, well, she doesn't turn 16 till November 14, so it's a while. Yeah. So, Papa over here very, very graciously said to Ryan, I'll bring Erin home. So we get her in the car, and she says, oh, Ryan's dad is going to be so angry. We said, well, I've been wanting Ryan to tell them how old I am, and we said, it's done. They know. Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, it was so fun. So that was our introduction to the Lamb family. And
What was the over-under on that one?
I bet the under. I probably did.
but Ryan, even though you robbed the cradle,
Oh!